Or twin movie? It Takes Two with the Olsen twins or The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan?
Millennial here. Um, it is definitely It Takes Two. And you want to know why it Takes Two? It's because I was like, so I think Parent Trap came out in 98. And I was like 7 I think at the time. And I watched that movie and it was great. Then I remember there was this time where it started to show on ABC, right? And I think maybe ABC was the first time I saw it because I don't remember seeing it in theaters. I remember they did the little behind the scenes, and I remember Lindsay Lohan came on screen, right? And she had the other Lindsay Lohan. And I was like, okay, so they're twins, 100%, because I was a kid, I didn't know any better, so I was like, they're twins. I literally watched that entire thing, and I was so bamboozled by Lindsay Lohan and by the people who made The Parent Trap, because I was like, she's not a twin. When they showed behind the scenes of how they did that, and they were like, she's not a twin, but this is how we did it, and we did this and this and this and this, I was so bamboozled as a child. I was like, Lindsay Lohan is not a twin? You're lying to me. You're lying to me. Okay? To this day, for all I know, this was a government psyop to tell us that Lindsay Lohan was really a twin and that you're hiding her twin somewhere in the universe. And that whole time in the 2000s, in the mid 2000s, late 2000s, when Lindsay Lohan was going through all of her chaos, we all know that this was all a government psyop to hide the fact that Lindsay Lohan is a twin, and they were doing government experiments on her twin. You don't know that's not true, because what 7-year-old me was like, this girl is 100% a twin, of course, duh. And then that whole behind the scenes thing, and I was so confused. I was like, she's a twin. Mary-Kate and Ashley are twins. Tia and Tamara are twins. She's a twin. It makes sense. Lindsay and Lindsay Lohan. There's two Lindsays. And maybe we just didn't know the other Lindsay's name. They just called her Lindsay Lohan. We didn't know her name, though. We thought she was just Lindsay Lohan, but maybe she wasn't. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was another person, and we just don't know. Like, my little kid brain could not even conceive of the fact that I could not comprehend this. Like, Lindsay Lohan does not have a twin? So, yeah, it was definitely It Takes Two. Also, I love The Parent Trap. I truly, truly do. I really do down. Like, The Parent Trap is such a good movie. And actually, I've never watched the OG Parent Trap from, like, way back in the day. But, like, the Lindsay Lohan version, iconic. Because a lot of everything that Lindsay Lohan does is iconic, so hello. But I just think because once I learned that Lindsay Lohan was not a twin, I was like, oh, they were trying to trick me, and I don't appreciate it. So obviously I'm going to like the movie that my actual favorite twins are in, okay? Like, hello, I don't understand. Like, I was obsessed with the Olsen twins growing up, and I was like, listen. It's the Olsen twins all day. Because at least they're really twins. You don't have to fake it. They're actual twins, right? Plus, I just kind of like the story more. Okay? As much as I like the Parent Trap story, and it's really, really cute, and it's really, really whatever, I also think that the Olsen twins movie was just a little bit more edgy. It was a little bit more edgy. Not gonna lie. It was a little bit more edgy. I like the fact that, one of them was a little orphan. And I like that, the summer camp vibes. And I like the whole thing. And I think it was a good movie. Now, I also love The Parent Trap because it's very quotable. But so is It Takes Two. Honestly, It Takes Two is very quotable. They're both very quotable movies. And I just love them. And they're just very good movies. So honestly, they're both iconic. But yeah, that whole Lindsay Lohan isn't a twin thing really took me for a ride. And I was confused. And I was like, what? And my tiny little millennial brain could not comprehend. And I know there are other people out here who understand, because it was really awkward when I was just very little, and I thought she was a twin, and then I learned she's not a twin, and I was just very, what? But I mean, you never know. That whole government psyop thing could be a real thing. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe the other Lindsay Lohan, who we still don't know her name, maybe she actually has a name and we just don't know her. Maybe she is hiding somewhere in the shadows and we still don't know. I mean, you never know. You never know. The government has done trickier things. You never know.